Did anyone happen to call police before gunshots that it started to get loud or too many people?
Yes, we had a call for loud music, disturbance. That held for a while, and then when the shots fired call came in is when we responded.
Did you respond when you got the first calls about the disturbance and loud music?
No, in fact, I looked up what we were busy on that kept us from going to a disturbance of the loud music. That's not uncommon if we're busy to let loud music kind of hold for a little while. But so at the exact same time, we were on calls that involved a larceny from auto over in Moores Lake. So that was involving a bunch of juveniles that were breaking into cars. We had a lot of resources there because we caught them, and we had to, figure out all the victims there and then take them to juvenile detention. Other calls involved a 14-year-old suicidal suspect who was threatening to burn his house down, a motor vehicle accident with a DUI, disturbance at a group home. That was a priority response. It was a reported abduction, and so we had a number of officers respond there. So, as you can, kind
Were
of tell,
resources deployed to all of those?
yeah, we were busy on all that. So when you hear those compared to what we first get as a disturbance or loud music, that'll hold for a little bit. But then obviously when the shots fired call came in is when we left the other stuff pretty quickly and showed up.
And how many of those disturbance calls were there?
I know that there were at least 3 that came in that just said, hey, loud music, lots of kids in the area, that kind of thing.
Typically speaking, I mean, how many calls would it take for police to decide to then respond?
I don't know that you can really say there's a typical, because if loud music is loud music, that's what we know, right? And so when you're comparing it to what we have with all these other things, an abduction call, a disturbance at a group home where somebody's acting up, a suicidal teenager, things like that, those take priority to a disturbance. So there's no real typical, If we didn't have all that other stuff going on, then we would have been there.
Do you know what led up to the shooting? Was there a fight that broke out or an argument?
Yeah, good question. So my understanding is that prior to the shooting call coming in, there were 2 separate fights or disturbances, if you want to call it that, between females. So there was a fight between a couple females. I'm told that was broken up, and then shortly after that another fight started, and then very shortly after that is when the shots fired call came in.